Hello and welcome to Small Business, Big Life inside Fort Orange General Store, where entrepreneurship meets marriage, kids, and controlled chaos. I'm Joe Slichko, and with me, as always, is my wife, business partner, and the owner of Fort Orange General Store, Erica Cubello.
Hey Joe, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fantabulous. How are you?
Fantabulous. Wow. I'm doing excellent. Thank you for asking.
Well, I think fantabulous is better than excellent, so I think I win.
Okay, you can win. And so begins our episode.
Hey, it's who we are, right?
Yep,
So, in today's episode, since you teed it up so perfectly for me,
you're welcome.
we are going to focus on a quote that was said at our wedding.
Yes, it was.
Marry someone you would go into business with.
Beautiful quote.
It was, and it was completely out of left field.
But that's what you get when you get Kevin.
Before we get into Kevin, can we just remind our listeners to please like or subscribe wherever they are listening so we can grow even more and keep doing these ridiculous things and tell these stories like we're going to tell today?
Yes, please. Your like, your follow, your share means so much to our small emerging podcast.
We thank you all. You guys are awesome. And the support you've given us over these, first few weeks of the podcast has been amazing. So we would be remiss to not acknowledge that and say thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you. It's all about our community.
That's right. And a big member of our community, my best friend since 7th grade, Mr. Kevin Calicone, holds many roles. He's the president of a local institution of high school learning that he and I both graduated from and both worked at together early on in our careers. We have followed similar but diverse career paths. I was an administrator before he was. I left. He took over my job. It was his first administrator's job. He ended up leaving. He went and got his doctorate in education. Then I went and got my doctorate in education. And we've just dovetailed back and forth and back and forth.
Tag you're it.
Exactly. And he's just an absolutely amazing person from an amazing family that I'll get choked up talking about, I'm sure, at some point during this episode. So we'll skip that right now. So
Kevin was actually on our first date with us.
I forgot about that. So one of the other many hats that Kevin wears is he is in a band, North Allen Duo. Insert shameless plug here.
Where Joe took me at the end of our first date. The North Allen Street Pub, very classy.
It was going so well. We didn't want the night to end. And I said, hey, my friend Kevin and his bandmate Matt are playing down the street. You want to go check them out? And you clearly just couldn't get enough of me.
I couldn't.
You said, let's go do it. And we went and did it. And it was awesome.
It was a really fun night. And sometimes those little small hole in the wall places are the most fun. Usually they are the most fun. And it was. It turned out to be a very fun night. Funny enough, I met Kevin for the first time on our first date. And he is quite the character, as Joe told me he would be, and loved him from the minute I met him. And you see a lot of people you know in a small little joint here in Albany, or any town, I'm sure. But I don't know, maybe that's for another episode.
I think that might be for another episode.
Okay.
Yes. So we fast forward, we're kind of North Allen Duo groupies as we're dating. And then it comes time where we're going to get married. And not only do I ask Kevin to be my best man.
That's right.
But also he says, well, I can marry you too, right? I got my license, my officiant license. And I did not know that at that moment. So I was hesitant to bring that up to Erica because I just didn't know, how you would respond to that. But you were all in on it.
Yeah, why would I
That's
respond
amazing.
any differently?
Let's do it.
Right? He was a theme throughout our relationship.
He is the theme throughout our relationship.
It was only natural to have him marry us.
So we ask him to do it. He says yes, of course. And as we're going through all the details and all the fun stress of leading up to the wedding and getting married, we met with him once, maybe just for some
It
quick,
was once
yeah.
over um, Google Meets, right? We did a Google Meet that was very spotty because there was a storm coming
He
in.
was on his porch.
Yes.
Yes.
Just hanging out, playing his guitar. We had asked him to learn our first dance song. So we combined this meeting of hearing the song, going through the ceremony and what he was going to say. Prior to, we were doing this all through Google Docs, right? Like editing, we would do it, then he would do it. So we got to a point where we needed to see each other and talk face to face. Why we can't drive 2 miles down the road, not sure, but we did it virtual, which ended up being a FaceTime call because the connection was really bad.
Thank you for clarifying that.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate that.
No problem.
Kevin's the kind of guy where he likes to riff a lot. So we had an idea of some of the things he was going to say at the wedding, but I also knew just by knowing him it was going to be unhinged and he would keep it appropriate completely, but there were going to be some things that we didn't see coming.
There's a lot of trust that I put into this because you knew, right, that Kevin and that he would take care of us. I mean, I knew Kevin from the few times we'd seen each other throughout the year, but I knew that he would take care of us because you trusted him so much.
Yeah, I'm not so sure you should have had that trust though. I was going in blindly knowing exactly who he is and just ready to ride the wave and enjoy it. And, I like awkward situations anyway. They're fun for me.
You're the king of them.
So we were just going to wing it. And that's kind of what happened. So our wedding day comes and he's awesome. He's killing it up there. He's funny. He's on point. He's meaningful. He's, telling all the fun stories and doing the things as officiant. Again, another plug for him if anyone's looking for one. He was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Took us through the ceremony, even at the rehearsal. Very businesslike, almost to an awkward degree, because that's just not who he is with me. Like, that's not our relationship. But he played his role perfectly.
He did, and he was hysterical. He had everybody laughing. Everybody loved him. He was amazing.
I think he opened with the current divorce rates, though.
Oh my God. I forgot about that.
In the ceremony.
I think you're right.
And I think I squeezed your hand and I said, don't worry, he's going somewhere with this.
Yes, you did.
I don't know where, but I'm sure it's going to all work out.
I completely forgot about that.
And it did. It did. But one of the quotes that he said when talking about us and knowing that this was right, us getting married, obviously, was marry someone you would go into business with.
Yeah.
And that was a tie-in that I didn't see coming, that I didn't even, fathom that he would talk about, the business, Fort Orange General Store, in our nuptials,
Right.
as they're called. But he did it so seamlessly and perfectly. And it kind of like slapped me in the face of that's an extremely important concept to think about.
Yeah. Hearing that come out of his mouth during our ceremony was so special. He made it about us and who we are and our life. And it hit a different way when he said that, because in our last episode, we talked about all of the risk and all of the worry and all of the things, and were we taking on too much, and we're not married yet, we're planning a wedding, we're buying a business, and then for it all to come together and him say that there just on his own, again, solidified that everything we had done, we were making the right choices for us.
I agree. And just as a brief aside, at this moment in the ceremony, do you remember what our youngest was doing?
He was looking at the beautiful ceiling.
Yeah, he was laying down on one of the steps
Yep.
leading up to the altar, admiring the ceiling
Yeah.
in the cutest way ever.
Well, it's beautiful. The stateroom downtown Albany is a gorgeous venue to the ceilings. They're very ornate. And for a 3-year-old to find that kind of detail and respect for architecture, I mean, I'm okay with him laying there. It was cute. He was admiring it. He was keeping himself quiet. Have at it, kid.
It was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It was great. All right, so what does this actually have to do with anything? What does being in business someone have to do with marrying them? How do those two things go together? The whole point of the episode
Right.
is what I'm throwing out there.
Well, I think it is knowing who you trust, who you want to work with. And for us, it's not only working, but like being in a loving, committed relationship. And how do we integrate these roles into our life? How do we separate these roles and do that respectfully with grace?
Agreed. And I'll say from the beginning, when we first met and I found out that owned a business, Seriously Spotless
Mm-hmm.
at the time, still own it, but we weren't Fort Orange yet. And I learned your story. I'm learning you. I'm falling in love with you and watching you do your thing. I always thought to myself, wow, she's a boss. And I love that about you. And I love that about your personality. And sometimes I don't love that about your personality. But most of the time, I
I
love
think
that
I
about your
think
personality.
I think you're lying right now.
Not true. Not true. But I was able to, in a different way for myself. So I'm watching you be this boss, right? And I'm watching you run your business and I'm learning about your business, Seriously Spotless, as we talk and, we grow and all the things. And, I'm watching your schedule and,
Mm-hmm.
the struggles with employees, all the things of an entrepreneur, similar to Fort Orange. And I'm starting to see where if you would let me, which of course you did, I could add value. I could use my expertise to take some things off your plate or help you with things that you're not a fan of doing, you don't enjoy as
Mm-hmm.
much, about the business. So I kind of, on a very like, I don't want to say superficial level, but initial level, saw like I could fit into this business role
Mm-hmm.
with you. And I think that helped me then visualize I could see myself with you
Mm-hmm.
as a partner,
Mm.
as a wife, and what that could look like. And it was a way in my mind, for whatever reason, that kind of solidified that what we were doing was right and that, the feelings I was feeling were also, real and not just,
Mm-hmm.
fleeting, or fun in the moment, but they were, real
Right.
and, something to act on and make sure I scooped you up, you know?
Oh, that's so sweet. Really like building our life together and how you saw yourself fit into my life. But also how I saw you fit into mine, right? So vice versa. And it was hard. I resisted the help for a while.
Still does, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, and that might be a whole nother episode, but it's hard to let go of something that you built yourself and put your whole self into, right? Like Seriously Spotless is in its 11th year of business, and I started it literally from the ground up, cleaning one person's house, which spread just very organically, word of mouth. I don't advertise. And it was something that I truly believed in and put my whole self into. And like we talked previously about our family, Seriously Spotless was my baby before I had my first son. And so the two of them kind of grew up together. So it was really hard to let go of any control, I guess, with Seriously Spotless because I felt like it was mine, which is unfair because Joe just wanted to help me. And I see that now. And when I did allow is the wrong word, but when I did accept a little bit of help from him, showing me his insane spreadsheet skills, I was like, whoa, I don't know how to do this at all. Like, who am I? I don't own a business. I can't do this. I've just been faking it because you're so brilliant when it comes to like all the behind the scenes stuff. I got scared. I I again resisted. I put up a wall and said I don't want to do that. I want to use my paper, calendars and pencils and calculators.
And yes, to be clear, I'm not like, I wasn't coming in trying to take over your business.
I
I
know
said,
that now.
how about we use some spreadsheets so I can automate some things so you don't have to use the notes app on your phone to run your business. And that was like, I don't know, I kicked somebody's dog or something.
No,
It
I
was
know,
like the
but it's
worst thing
hard
ever.
when you've done it a certain way, you've built it a certain way, and it to take on all of these new ideas at once was a lot. So I did slowly learn your ways and adapt some more efficient time management skills. So thank you, Joe, for helping me grow as a boss.
You're welcome, and thank you for allowing me to make spreadsheets at nausea because I love it.
These things would hurt your brain. They're insane. They're insanely cool. They're a lot.
It's fun.
Yeah, good for you.
Yeah.
I'm glad that's fun. So this is why it works because Joe has all of these amazing skill sets when it comes to logical, analytical, like mathematical, and then there's me who's like the dreamer, the creative, the one who thinks outside of the box. I don't how
There's no box even like near you.
So that also causes a lot of tension between us too, because you are so very organized and want to know all of the numbers and the data and the this and the that. And I'm just like, it's going to be fine. It works. Like, let's just do it.
And I can't believe I'm saying this right now because you're so going to use this against me. But and I think it's that balance of the two thought processes together that is the beauty of our life, whether it's home or at Fort Orange specifically, that we know we have each other's back and we know the way that we both approach things, even though it drives us crazy. We know that it's coming from a place of good and only to make the entire situation better. It may not feel like that in the moment sometimes. Sometimes it's hard to see, and it just looks like I'm being stubborn, you're being stubborn, we're all being stubborn, but it's because we're trying to do the best we can. And I think we're also trying to help in the best way that we think we know how. And if that's me creating a spreadsheet to make your life a little easier because something's automated and you don't have to spend so much time on it, that's my love language. I don't think that translates sometimes.
That's the nerd love language.
Call me what you will. Or if, it's your creative side, hey, Joe, I, instead of asking you for help, just put all these beautiful lights up. Can you figure out how to power them? When, arguably, it probably would have been easier to have a plan from the beginning. But it looks great, and you're doing it so that I didn't have to.
Right. Yes. That's exactly right. Thank you for figuring that out. Finally.
I don't like it. I didn't say that part.
But I don't know why you said that I would use this against you. What would I use against you?
Well, the next time I complain about something, you're going to say, remember on the podcast, you said you actually like that and that you understand why I'm doing it.
Yeah, but that's growing. And that's like understanding each other more. I'm not going to use it against you.
Yeah, but sometimes I don't want to grow. Sometimes I just don't want to have to worry about how to plug the lights in.
Well, we're learning.
We'll get there.
Okay, every mistake is a learning experience.
That's true. So there's Kevin telling us this, and we apply it to the business. How do we apply it at home?
Mm.
Or don't we?
I think it's so much more involved at home because we've got so many different relationships going on and personalities and things that we need to decompress when we get back to our home. You know, like you run a school, not just one school, but two schools all day, and have all of these relationships that you've had to deal with, right? For lack of better words, you know, problems to solve between adults, problems to solve between children, and multiple, multiple of these happening throughout your day. And then you come home and you've got four, however many kids are with us that day, up to four different problems there. And then you've got me and the things I'm excited to talk to you about. And it's a lot for you. So I think that you end up going into your principal mode and treating us all like we're still at school.
Naughty little children.
Naughty little children. So I don't know yet if we've figured out how to come home and have a role as Joe and Erica and our kids. We're still figuring that part out, I think.
No, and I think that makes sense. And especially because we're not at Fort Orange together most of the time. Either you're there or I'm there.
Right.
We need the space to talk about the business. Obviously, there's a lot to do. But after you and I both work a full day and then come home, and like you said, we're dealing with homework and attitudes and their interpersonal relationships and tears at times, and and all the things. We need to talk about a new vendor, or what Valentine's Day promotion we're running or not running, or which of these boxes are we going to buy. And I have my opinion, and it's wrong most of the time. And you get frustrated at that, and I'm like, well, how much does it cost, and how much does this cost, and how much does the cellophane cost on top of it, and let's do all that out. And you're rolling your eyes at me like, dude, can we just buy the thing and be done with it?
And when you finally do break it all down, I was right.
Erica was right, ladies and gentlemen. Write that down.
No, but it's exactly what you said, that where do we learn to carve out space so that it's not a bombardment of more work, right? And still have time for us, still have time for our children, and still have time as a family. And it's a balancing act that we just haven't figured out yet. I don't even know if there is one, but
yeah, I was just about to say that. I mean, I think it's something we are figuring out. I don't know if it'll ever be figured out as in it feels done, complete. There's a script that we can follow, and it makes everyone feel phenomenal, and there's rainbows and all the things.
But that's owning a business, because it never ends.
Right.
And you work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Like, you're constantly thinking about your business. So I think that's the frustration you have with me, because I don't know how to turn it off. Although I have learned not to talk to Joe about the business after 8:30. Not a good idea. We need to just shut it down and start the next day.
Yes, Erica likes to talk to me about the business from 5:30 a.m. until I'm running out the door. Dropping the children off. That's when the best thinking happens.
It does. I'm a morning person, but I think it's hard because at night, when we, have a half hour to ourselves before one of us starts snoring, it unfortunately ends up being the time where it's just the two of us. So then I feel like I need to have diarrhea of the mouth for all the thoughts I have about the business during that time, and it's not a good idea. We need to keep that space for us.
But we have to have those conversations too. So it's not like, we can just not talk about it. I mean, the business is growing, it's doing great. Like,
Hmm.
we're able to do so much with the community because of all the things, that we're doing that you're putting in place, both, within the store itself and outside with, all the projects that you're involved with. It's necessary. And it's just difficult given all the other fun stuff that we volunteered our lives to be with family, work, and all the other things that we're involved with. So,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and every day looks different, right? So I think it is just kind of take it as it comes. And, we need to remember that we are both coming from the best place possible, that we're both on each other's sides, and we're doing this for the best interest of our family and for our goals, our dreams.
agreed. If I were to ask you this question, what would your answer be?
Let's hear it.
What type of day is the hardest for us to navigate?
Saturday,
Why is that?
because it's unstructured.
So after
I hate it.
after everything we just said, it is 100% true, and I agree with you. The second it's unstructured and there's not 7 billion things to do,
I do nothing.
that's when we struggle the most.
Yes.
We stare at each other. We're like, what do we do? How do we function? What are we supposed to do? Do we really have to feed the kids today? I'm sure they can go one day without eating. I don't want to cook. You don't want to cook. What's cooking?
Yeah, it's a really hard day. And it's a day where I think we probably end up getting in the most arguments because we are very, as much as I just called you type A analytical, like, I need to have that structure in my life too, or I lose track of what I need to do. So, we're still, I think we've gotten better at Saturdays. Sundays seem to be even better because we've messed up on Saturday and now know what we need to do on Sunday. And it's also grocery shopping. Like, it's a little bit more structured, so we do better there. But we've got a lot of learning to do in our family life.
And I think we learned that, play dates for the kids, yes, adding more people and
Oh my God,
chaos,
it's so much better.
it's so much better.
Yes, we need that. We love our children and we want all of the interactions with them. But, when someone's just staring at you for a while and you don't know what to do next with them.
Because it's 8 a.m. and they've been up since 6 a.m. for no reason.
Well, you know,
It's fun.
they're, I wouldn't have it any other way. They're our life.
They are.
But yeah, adding another one to the mix does seem to make it a lot easier. Always have a play date.
And just to be clear, we're talking about a play date and only a play date and nothing else. On that note,
I bleed the fifth.
I think we should wrap this here podcast up.
Well, we want to hear about your Saturdays and Sundays. What do you feel like you struggle the most with? After school time, before school time, bedtime, Saturday mornings?
And also, how do you look at your spouse? Do you view them as someone that you would start a business with if you are not already doing so?
That's
And
a hard question,
I
Joe.
know.
I don't know
Hold
if you
on,
can put that
hold
out
on,
there.
hold on, I got
People
some
aren't
time.
going to answer that.
I want you to think about it, not from the they drive you crazy point of view. Which of their behaviors, attitudes, characteristics, traits would you leverage the most in a business and why?
Okay.
So even if on the daily it drives you nuts, think about it differently. How can you capitalize on that? What can you have them do in this business world, be it fictitious or real, to push your business forward? How could you leverage that? What is their superpower? What is their hidden strength?
Interesting, Joe. That was a good save. That was a good spin on that question.
I am a doctor. This is what I do.
You're one crazy doctor.
That's me. We're all a little mad here.
Thank you, Dr. Joe, for this episode of Small Business, Big Life inside Fort Orange General Store.